Skoll.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you for coming out with all the virus scare, you know? I'm a person of a certain age, so of course the first thing that went through my head was my corona. But I figure if you're gonna have a song about a pandemic, it should be catchy, infectious even, so it goes viral. I was born in South Africa, which explains my accent. But from age 11 to 23, I grew up in Newfoundland. So I guess that explains my accent. Another interesting fact about myself, I am a transgender woman. Wow, thank you. That's a lot of love here. Specifically, I am a South African Newfie Jewish atheist transgender comedian. And in all of Ottawa, there are only 12 of us. But I'm the only one who doesn't work for the federal government. I studied electrical engineering. That's my day job. And I discovered something interesting. Engineers are slightly more likely than the average person to be transgender. Who knew? We're also way more likely to be terrorists. So if you know anybody doing engineering, you say, pick the trans stream. My degree is double E and my cup size is double A. They do make one smaller than A. So what you see here is 20% big pharmaceutical, 75% structural engineering, and 5% strategically applied bronzer. All the small ladies like that one. When I came out to my mom, she had some weird questions for me. Like I was at her place putting up a ceiling fan one time, and she said, so tell me, when you're a girl, are you still going to be able to do stuff like that? I said, yes, but there'll be some differences. I won't bitch about it for days beforehand and expect a medal afterwards. It's a friendly audience, yeah. She was worried about me. She was worried about my safety. I get it. I'm a parent. But I said to her, come on, Mom. This is Ottawa. It's pretty liberal. What's the worst that could happen? Like a gang of cannibals set upon me or something? And my mom's a warrior, so she's like, well, it could happen. So I said, no problem. They're not going to want hormone-infused meat. Or trans fat. So in terms of the whole like LGBTQ2S A to Z emoji pantheon, I'm the T. I identify as the T. And I actually started a political party to advance our cause. It was called the Tea Party. Most of our constituents were confused right-wingers. We didn't even manage to pass a private members bill because so many of us no longer had our private members. I usually get a couple of Jesus Christ at that point. And a bunch of our MPs crossed the floor to the opposition. I sometimes, though, like to read right-wing news outlets because they cheer me up. When you read mainstream media, it's like, oh, trans people are discriminated against. Oh, we have a high suicide rate. We're victims of violence. It's really, really depressing. But when you read the right-wing sites, it's like, oh, the LGBT people control the schools. It's like, oh, yeah, that's power. We control the media. Like, I'm Jewish. I knew that already. But validation is nice. Thank you. Some right-wing people even say that we're destroying civilization. Now that's power. Can you imagine? Kim Jong-un doesn't need nukes. He just needs to put on a dress. And they won't even let us join the military. Well, who needs to join the military? We get all the violence we can on our own. Oh. About a year after living full-time as a woman, I decided, oh, okay, I'm going to try dating. So I heard all these horror stories from my friends about unsolicited dick pics. And in the old days, I figured, well, if a guy sends me an unsolicited dick pic, I'll just send one back. So I'm sure some of you are wondering, you know, it's a natural thing to wonder, has she had the surgery? Like, don't ask that. Some trans people don't want the surgery. Some can't get it for health reasons or whatever. And I think it's invalidating to consider somebody less trans just because they haven't had the surgery, right? Yeah. Right. So yeah, I had the surgery. I went from an outie to an innie. My gonads are gone-nads. This was major surgery. It took me a long time to decide to get it, but two things tipped the scales. One thing is, well, when I was 8 days old, because I'm Jewish, I had a little bit taken off, and I thought, I like it. I'll get the rest done. Secondly, I went through all that pain and trauma, but I get to be on stage on International Women's Day in front of this lovely audience. Thank you so much. I'm Dianne Skoll.